Legends. How good's been live? It's been way too long, and setup was great. It had me orientated the other way, so sorry I had to delete that. But we're off. We're away, and thanks for being here. I'll get up those questions as soon as we can. But I missed all you blokes, and yeah, I hope you're well. What's going on? Tell us a story. Let us know what's going on. What's been happening in the off season? Any fun stories? Chuck them in the comments. I'll if you're interested in me reading them out in front of people, that would be great. Alrighty. There he is. Jono's in. Welcome. How we doing, squad? Alright. Jono Blowbox. Everyone go in and, if you like Rugby League 4, get in and follow Blowbox Footy. He does live streams all the time. He's a legend. Alright. Dean Mariner, still an option. Shiloh, look, definitely still an option. He has to get that wing spot, obviously. And then we can, we've got a fair bit to look at with him, obviously. With the dual position, the 450k is a bit annoying. We'll have to see what kind of options we get in the centre position, the fullback position as well. Before we look at that, I literally just saw that Carrigan and Reynolds fight. That's pretty wild. What do you think that is usually? Like, these kind of guys, they obviously are very aggressive sort of guys on the park, and that's going to happen, sometimes for sure. But I didn't expect it from those two, to be honest with you. Like, you've seen Payne Haas and Albert Kelly and these kind of guys have a crack, but didn't expect that. Let me know what you think of it. I don't see much coming from it, but pretty funny, that's for sure. Banana in bin. Hey, should I get a Sarko in fantasy? So a Sarko with the round 3 bye, I doubt he makes any money, and not sure how he's going to go with Herbie. Is he going to get plenty of passes, or is he going to get stuck without the ball in hand? Caleb, great content, Jamie. Keep it coming. I've learned heaps about fantasy from you. Thanks, Caleb. You're an absolute legend. Appreciate you commenting and watching. Elena Brown, Mrs. B, hi. How are you? Nick Garenta, thoughts on Kiku or Kikau? With Viliami, mates, he has some value for sure, but I don't see enough of it compared to some of the other guys. So he's not on my current radar for sure. Guys, I hope you checked out the team reveal. I appreciate everyone that's had a crack at watching that. And also, guys, while you're here, if you are looking into the private group, all the details are in the description. The photos that you'll see there to show the competitions and are on the Discord channel there. So jump in the announcement section and check that out. But I'd absolutely appreciate it if you jumped in there. As we get closer to the season actually starting and throughout the season, I will mainly be replying to all of the private group guys because there'll be a lot of yous in there. So I'd absolutely appreciate if you could jump in there. That obviously helps me out as well. Happy times with the Broncos, yes, for sure, mates. What do we got? A Lomax and Hammer sleeper pick for keepers outside backs to start with. Definitely, if Lomax gets the fullback slot, then yes. If Hammer, I think he has some value, but the round 3 buy as well. If you have cover, then great. If you don't, then you have to think about either trading someone in round 3 or have that cover, obviously. Jimmy, mate, thoughts on Moses, Cleary, Fogarty combo? I love it, yeah, not a problem at all. A few people are going Cleary, Hines, and the Fogarty combo, so yeah, I think Moses is going to be great this year. Blue Box, I saw Latrell and Host have a go at each other a few years ago. Yeah, that's right. There's a few teams where that's happened for sure, and it's a fun time, isn't it? Thoughts on having both Murray and Haas? That's obviously something that I'm personally planning to do. Sorensen's another one on that list, so that 100k cheaper, but I do think that around that 400 to 600k mark is where a lot of our obviously value is going to come from, and there's plenty of good scorers in that as well. Joshy there, it's the pros and cons. Option 1, start Haas, Hines, Cleary, Grant with Arthurs and Burbo. I don't really like Arthurs, but Grant, Haas, Cleary, Fogs with strength and centers with a Seb Chris. Just remember, Josh, that Seb Chris is not going to be playing in round 1. He will be there in round 2, so you need someone to actually start in that position, unfortunately. Team reveal question mark. I just posted today, mate. It should, it's almost got 3,000 views. Rooster, I hope you get in there and have a look at it. Thanks, Banana. Les, hey Jamie, I'd like to comment on Schuster. I picked him because of his upside, but he scares the shit out of me with his attitude. Yeah, there's a lot that has been uncovered a little bit, but there's plenty that's behind closed doors as well. So just be aware that it's going to be a very, very interesting time with Schuster owning him in your side, that's for sure. It's not very surprising that those two are having a go at each other, yeah. Willie Ennis, welcome in, mates. Would you start with Ponga now with all the doubts over the cheap and mid-range fullback? He's definitely an option. I have no issues with you grabbing him at all. I think it could definitely be a great pick for you. He should come out of the blocks pretty strong. So no issues there at all. Personally, I'm not going to. I think if we had Campbell, I'd probably have the cover with Weeks. But without him right now, I think I'm just going to be going for the 3 wing fullbacks only. In terms of my thoughts on Burton, Anthony, so with him, I just think that we aren't sure how the Bulldogs are going to start from round 1. I would look at him more in a Supercoach sense than a fantasy sense, just because of the fact that he's got Sexton with him, losing some kick meters and some of those base, which hurts obviously as well. Pikuru would be a good option. Yeah, Pikuru is going to be in everyone's side. Shoaib Khan, one of our private group guys, along with Will Ennis, a couple of legends there. So yeah, thanks for being here. What's up, dude? Let's get it. Plowboy, seeing Hutcho in more teams than my own. Chance of starting news. I'd absolutely love Hutcho in the starting team, but unsure if he's actually going to get that at this point. But yeah, let's hope that he does. That's for sure. Guys, if you're in here, I'd absolutely appreciate it if you could hit that share button and post it in any of the Facebook groups, or tell the guys in Discord to jump in as well and check the live out as well. We've got 43 in here at the moment. Let's get that up to sort of 60, 70 plus early in the preseason. 20 days out, guys. I'm super excited. It'll be less than 20 days now, but until that first game on the Sunday, which is hectic. Caleb, there is much of a downside to starting Hines, Cleary and Grant? No, definitely not. Just make sure you get enough guys that are value and cheapies in there for sure. RC Ray starting with Hines over Cleary. I do really like Hines, mate. I have no issue with anyone looking to start Hines over Cleary at all. So yeah, lock it in, man, if you want. And picking Cleary up after his round 6 bye. Yep, I'll be looking to do that with Hines the other way. Pick him up after their bye in round 5, which will be helpful to then have him as my captain in round 6. Would be cool. But yeah, round 7 till Origin is great. JB, hey mate, JMK or Robson? I feel like JMK has more value, more attacking and great Origin schedule, but Robson, great start and bounce back. Yeah, both are great, mate. The good thing with JMK here is we now have that cover in round 3 with the Lussick or a Hands, whichever one gets the spot. So you can just look to have them in your team. JMK, you're less worried about now, because coming into the preseason, before we found out about Arthur's plans with his hooking position, we were going to be picking one of those guys and trying to have cover maybe in like a Brandon Smith, whereas now you can have cover in a cheaper guy and it'd do a great job for your side. Thoughts on White when he starts? I feel like we must-have. Must-have's a big call for a centre. Unfortunately for him, though, he doesn't get the dual position. He doesn't get the centre tag until after round 6, coming into round 7, because he's out for the first couple of weeks and won't be named in that team list Tuesday. Thinking of a Lane Moses combo, Shoaib, is I do like that. I think it would be cool. I think I like a little bit more in SC, given he hasn't been priced up like he has in fantasy, and I do really like Moses in fantasy though, for sure. Carlton, have a total of 2 guns in my team, Cleary and Grant, 304 in the bank. Should I squeeze in a few more guns for round 1, or I should be, right? 304k in the bank. If that's saving for things to come up on TLT, then sure, but otherwise you could spend up a little bit more on one of those guys, the 500k guys, and get another gun. 3 guns probably cool. At least 3 over 600k at a minimum. Likely even 4. Like personally, my team at the moment has, as you just saw, Fogs, Cleary, Payne Haas, and also Robson, all over 600k. So yeah, that's probably how you want to play with that one. JD there. How much notice do you take of the schedule at the start of the year? You got new season. Teams may be harder, so it's easier to play against. Do you look at the schedule at the start, or do you just pick the best available? Really, at the start of the season, guys, not much of it you can attribute to their draw, because a lot of teams come out and actually play pretty good from the start, even if they're not projected to be a really good side. And that's the big worry that you're looking at with that starting draw. We saw it last year. We've seen it in other years there where the Dragons were the March premiers, and then they absolutely fell in a heap, and and you would have looked at them and gone, oh, they're a team that we could probably score some decent points against and win games, and that wasn't to be. Very much the same with Dolphins. You see all these teams that, usually the most of the time across the season, and you see how a team ends up doing well longer term. It is because they have the bigger depth, and these teams, your depth isn't tested at the start of the season. It's tested through the middle and towards the back end. And if you've had a bunch of injuries, even if you get back to full strength in the back end of the season, a lot of those guys have had to play extended minutes and have had to work so hard that they can struggle as well. So at the beginning, most people are fresh, they're raring to go, the physicality's there, the defensive the numbers are there, and that's where it really doesn't matter as much. Obviously, if you're coming up against the Panthers and the Broncos, those are the two best defensive teams last year, and you scored the least amount of fantasy points against those two teams. Unless you were the Eels up against Panthers, they always have a cracking matchup, but everyone else seems to struggle against them, and that's where you don't want to focus too much on the matchups, unfortunately, that's for sure. So that's as much as I'll say on the schedule, but you do have teams like the Titans, like the Dolphins, have a little bit of a softer schedule, and what you're looking at with them is the amount of points that are going to be in those games. So that usually expands a little bit, and you're looking at sort of, 40 plus point games. So it might be a 24-20, could be a 32-18, something like that, where there's enough points in there, enough tackling stats in tackle breaks, in offloads, in those tries and the try assists that you don't get in some of the games against the Panthers and the like, unless they're beating you, which doesn't really help. That's for sure. All right, so let's scroll back up a bit. Thanks for that question, JD. Super helpful, obviously. Anthony there, thoughts on Cheesemate, or is he too much of a gamble? I have him as my current sort of third pick, I'd say, in hooker. I think at the moment it's going to be Robson. I would like Grant, and then it would be Brandon Smith. I understand why people are going for him, given he's he's 540k, has the dual position, has potential to increase his average from last season. So definitely something that you should be looking at for sure. I don't think he's too much of a gamble. I think he can do a great job for your side, that's for sure. Caleb there, last question for me. If Trindle takes over kicking, would that change your mind on starting with Hines? Yes, definitely, mate. And I'm personally not starting with Hines. I am in Supercoach, captaining him, likely him or Ponga. And if he was to be losing goal kicking, it would absolutely change my mind on selecting him. And I do want Hines and Cleary in fantasy there. It's probably not going to happen. And I just think that the percentage-wise, Cleary is the guy that I'm going to be starting with. I don't want to fall too far behind if Cleary was to get 100 and Hines was to get a 60 in round one. It's just a bit of a gamble for me to pick both. If you did or pick one or the other, if you did want to pick both, then 100% of the goal kicking would kill him. Is Watson the Roosters 14? Yeah, he will be, most likely. He's a very good player, just hasn't played too much over the last few years with injury. Season worth getting Taff for 330 and having 130 left in the bank for round 4 when Campbell's available, and hoping Taff makes money during the first 4 rounds. So if you're buying Taff in the hopes that he makes a little bit of cash, or he's that stepping stone to Campbell, just remember that you do need over 100k to get Jaden into your side from Taff. And really from that point, you're picking a guy at round 1. If you're picking someone at 330k, you want them to make more money than sort of that 20 to 50k that he could make, even if he does pretty well, because Taff's one of those guys that he's not a superstar scorer at all. And he could definitely have a couple of games where he gets 20, and he was playing in a bunny side, which was really, really good, and with goal kicking, and he wasn't scoring that great. He goes to Dogs, who aren't as good, and he doesn't have the goal kicking, so he could even lose money for you. And I just think he's probably a negative pick in round 1, and most of these cash cows you want to hold longer than 3 weeks anyway, so you can actually see some money making. It's a good question anyway, RC. Jimmy Lloyd, what are your current centre plans? Obviously unsure with the cheapies. Have you spent up until the cheapies are named? Yeah, Jimmy, check that. I literally dropped my team today at sort of 10:30 this morning. So jump in after this video, mate, obviously, and check out that video. I'd absolutely appreciate that if you did. But currently I've just put a fair bit of cash in that first position in Penasini, and then not so much cash in the second position with Ben Trbojevic. So if he was to get named to start, I'm sticking with him. There's a chance that we get a cheapie centre. If we don't, then I'm going to have to probably drop down a little bit of cash with Penasini, or keep him and go up with the second centre position. and that's where I'm at the moment. I don't know enough, but I kind of was able to make this team reveal now, knowing a general amount of information about how things are going to look, and I've left sort of 2 to 3 spots on the bench to for guys that are going to be cheaper. Because last year we started with sort of 7 or 8, 250k and below, under 300k players definitely. And this year I currently have 5 in my side with a few spots remaining. So there's definitely a good chance that we get a couple more cheapies. All right, Trev, welcome in, legend. What possible role will Jed Cartwright have in the Knights this year? Depth in the edge position and centres. You've got Brodie Jones and Kai Pearce-Paul ahead for 1 spot. He's 3rd in line, so yeah, I wouldn't expect it. Is Cohen Hess a good pick? No, he's not blow box, unfortunately, mate. He doesn't have the value that you want to start with. With a mid-ranger, there's no real chance of him getting extended minutes or anything like that, and his days of being a fantasy gun, unfortunately, are over. Brandon, thanks, legends. We're up to 58 viewers at one time. That's hectic. Awesome. In 20 days out from round 1, you're all legends. Brandon, there is Brooks worth buying in the halves. He could definitely have some attacking stats for sure and do well. Like he obviously, they won 68-6 or whatever it was against the development south side, but he could definitely do well. But he's going to lose some kick meters that he had last year and the like. So I think that's someone you can just avoid and grab someone else. But if you like watching them play for sure, him play, then it could be a good thing. But yeah, that's it. I'm not super excited about him. Guys, as well, just remember a reminder anyway, I'm on socials this year, been putting out videos on TikTok, we're growing that one pretty cool, and also videos on Instagram as well, so I'm posting the both on there, so if you want to follow one of those guys, one of those pages there, if you want to get some of that short form content, I'll be doing that alongside the longer form content on YouTube this year, so big thanks to that, and obviously having a look at the podcast as well, guys, if you like doing that, if that seems a bit easier for you, or if that is an option sometimes you just don't want to chuck on YouTube and you've got the podcast there, that's available to be used as well, and that helps me out as well, which is great. Let's try and grow everything, and we're getting closer to that 10,000 subscribers, 9.61. You're all absolute legends, but 68 watching now. Thanks for being here. Houdini, hi Jamie, do you think Flanagan is a trap, non-dominant half in a bottom 8 side? He would definitely be a trap if he was priced at about 30, but we've seen him score about that 33 mark and have 8 points of value in pretty average sides, and he moves to another average side in the Dragons. And look, there's some talk about him actually directing the team around a bit more, which likely means obviously in talking and being a leader that way, but also through his boot. So if that's the case, then there will be a couple of kick meters to be used there. And if you can get over that 100, 150, 200 mark, then that's a couple extra points we probably weren't expecting. And then he's the backup goal kicker as well. So that's something to think. He could definitely be, I wouldn't call him a trap. Like a trap means that he would get, you'd have him for a week or two and then he'd be booted out of the side. The trap would be that he just only makes, 20k or 30k. And that's not the end of the world if he does, because you can move him on. Will Sean Bloor start? Mate, he's likely to start. I think they would be stupid not to start with Shawnee, but stranger things have happened. But it is Craig Bellamy, and he's a perfect edge for that team. It's exactly what they needed. They didn't need another outside back, and that's why Olam's ended up moving on. So yeah, that's that. Peter Taylor, is Bloor a Wonga trap if Edge on the bench? Potentially. I don't know which Edge you're thinking of, Pete, for Storm. If it's Liera on the bench, then maybe, but Bloor needs 60 to 65 minutes, so he should get that. Wong is definitely a worry if he's getting 50 minutes. If he gets above that, if they think he's an absolute gun, which I definitely think he is, and a lot of people tout him to be the next superstar, I'll definitely be watching to see and hear what's happening with their bench, the Roosters. All right, what's the Newcastle hooking position looking like? Is Bradley set for big minutes again? No, not yet, mate. Brian Tui, I believe, is the correspondent, the journalist that looks after especially the Newcastle Knights, and he said it's going to be a job share role, so it could be like a 40-40, it could be a 50-30 Brayley, and if that's the case in fantasy at 572, it's just nowhere near enough minutes at this point, and we'll just, I think we should just see what happens with him and go from there. All right, Curdy Boy, start Grant or Robson, absolute coin flip if you are worried about having sort of 2 or 3. I think 2 Storm players is fine, 3 is a little bit of a stretch, you need a bit of a plan. Kurt, thanks for if it's you, mate, thanks for being in the private group as well. With Robson, you obviously don't have a buy in there, so you don't have to worry about that, and he could potentially go up in price, but Grant is clearly the best hooker, so that's something to think of there. Dazza, what's your thoughts on Herbie Farnworth? He's a great scorer. He doesn't really have any value, and that's what we kind of want with most of our guys. Like Penasini with Moses scores in the mid-40s, so that's where him being near a gun price is obviously strong. But from that point, he has the potential to make a little bit and has a good buy schedule as well. So that's what you're looking at with someone like Penasini. Farnworth, you're paying an extra 50. You probably don't have the value as a buy in round 3. That's kind of the reasons I wouldn't be able to. He's the best one I'm able to buy in Blue Box. Yeah, just pick someone else, mate. You've got the Liam Knights, you've got Fletcher Bakers, you've got, it might be an RFM, these kind of guys that you could look at for sure. Start Cotter or Elliott. That's a coin flip as well. My coin flip landed on Elliott. I think he has a slight bit more upside. If he's got I think he's going to get bigger minutes than Cotter, and if he's fit, doesn't play Origin as well. There's a couple of things that are in his positiveness, in the positive side for me. So that's that. Elroy, where's his next one? You're on as always, Jamie. Maldives or Indigenous, who you got, and is Pappenhausen a miss or a hit? Well, let's hope he's a hit. I really do. He's obviously my favourite player, but you can't not have him in your side. You just need to have him. That's for sure. You just can't do it. What are we gonna do? Maoris or Indigenous? The Maoris are obviously in the Kiwis and all the Polynesian countries are doing absolutely amazingly at the moment and just improving each and every year. So I'm going to go with them this year, but the Indigenous have a cracking lineup as well. I can't wait to watch that. Mark Lawless, hey mates. Most of the experts say Ponga is a must for Supercoach. What's your opinion on him for fantasy? So the Supercoach one is just because he has the crazy upside with the try assists and the tries, but obviously their point scoring is so different compared to fantasy. He's not a must in fantasy because he has there's some risk and stuff in there. He has to do a lot of, he can score way above sort of the forwards and stuff like that in Supercoach compared to fantasy. In fantasy, they're on the same path and the same wavelength, but the forwards just don't have to do as much work they can do it so much easier, and they don't have as much concussion risk. Like you look at Payne Haas, he's so tall, he's so big that he doesn't get concussed, whereas Pong is smaller and there's more risk of that too. So that's where we're at. RC, thoughts on Sully? I feel it's better to pick him for 100k less than Penasini. Sully is a bit more up and down and in a worse team. Penasini is going to score better very easily and is in a better team. So that's that with him. I do like Sully as well though, in a center position that's not great. Okay. Schuster or Blore? We know it's Blore every day of the week. Schuster, I have so many question marks about. If you want information on Schuster that is going to be positive to you, then awesome, do that. But really, in pro Schuster, if you think there's guys, there's other podcasts out there that are pro Schuster. I'm not as much. We'll have to see trials for him. Willis said goodbye. I had him in my team just sitting there, but he has to get the 17 position, and then again, he could just be a slow burner. He still has to average, he still has to hit 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes to make money. David, do you think Cotter can average the same as Robson, almost 100k less for Cotter? Oh, he definitely could, yeah, no doubt about it. So if you want to get Cotter instead of Robson, then no problem. The reason you're getting Robson is to have hooker cover, like instead of just playing the Eels guys, one of the Eels guys. Hey mate, what was the reasoning with going for Penasini this year? It's just, at the moment, the centre position is just an absolute placeholder. Reasons there is we have no centre options, really. And the mid-tier guys aren't great. I'm looking at like Simonson, I'm looking at Sully as guys that have potential for value. I don't really want to go for Avrillo or something because of the round 3 bye. I like my centre position to be as solid as possible. I had Penasini last year and he was great up until Moses was out. Or missed games with Origin and stuff, and he didn't score very well. The Eels weren't very good. So if the Eels are better, Moses is there, he gives him plenty of good ball. But at the moment, centre positions are both placeholders, and I've just got 590k with him and 250 with Burbo, and however it plays out, I have enough in that position to do good things with and sort of change around. Kiwi Sports. Sure, Jamie? Sure. To claim is Burton a good buy? I think he's okay, mate. I wouldn't be personally picking him, but he definitely has upside. Why Supercoach 10 times better than Fantasy? It's not praying madness. We actually get more players than Supercoach does overall. It's always out of like 160, 150,000 by the end of the year. Supercoach is like 100,000. So I think that says enough. They're both great games, guys. You should be playing both. It's way more fun. If one of your teams has a bit of an average week and the other one goes great, you don't feel so bad. If both go great, you absolutely have a beauty of a week. So it just gives you a second bite of the cherry, which is awesome. And then good prizes too. You know, if you win both, you get a crazy amount of prizes. How good. Thoughts on Little if he plays 80 minutes? Yeah, awesome. Lock him in, but he's not going to play 80 minutes. Hear anything on Herbie playing fullback? I don't think so. But look, anything could happen for sure. Hey Jane, what's the reason behind the Jaden Campbell no selection in your current side? So he's still not training with the main group, mate, Pete, unfortunately. So with their right, and it's patella issue. So knee issues are never great, right? It's never something you want to be looking at all. Is having a patella issue. He's been out for since surgery, he's had 6 months off, and he's still not training with the main group, which is an absolute shocker. So with the buy in round 2, with them able to have a very easy replacement in Keanu Keeney, then what you're looking at there is someone that can just slot in for him, and then we can look at bringing him in round 3 or 4. Like we need cover for him anyway in round 2, so I feel like it's an easy watch. You don't have to spend as much in round 1, and once you've gained a little bit over the first few weeks, we can just slot him in, because I am so keen on Jaden Campbell. I promise you, and I really want to do more preseason, but NRL Physio not excited by him at all. Thinks that because it's a knee and the change of direction thing, unfortunately he's going to be down on performance as well. He won't have that explosive speed straight away, and he's still in the rehab group, mate. So that's only 3 weeks out from round 1, so 3.5 weeks, so 4 weeks out from round 1 for him. So absolutely not enough time to get fit and firing. He could come out and do really well, but I'm targeting for round 3 or 4. Keyworth, how are you, mate? Soz, mate. Have been at work. Awesome. Thanks for jumping on. Is Joseph Suoli'i a buy if on the wing? Yeah, definitely, man. Could be, but they do have a really tough draw, and he's not going to be goal kicking. Sammy Walker will be, so that's where we have an issue with buying him. That's for sure. I'm going with Moses Benasini combo with Fogarty on the bench. Thoughts on Moses start season? I think Moses is going to be great, mate. They have a pretty solid start, obviously with Dogs, but into the Panthers. He kicked for 1,000 meters last time they played Panthers in round 2 or 3 or whatever it was. So wild. Bullymore, no. Just watch one of my videos, Blowbox. Go to the mid, value, and cash cows video, or watch my video today. It gives you all the options in the mid position that you should be looking at. Noah, who do you think the Raiders backline would be 1 to 7? It's looking more and more likely like Chevy Stewart, and I'm hoping that's the case, because then I can drop Savage down to him. But if not, it's going to be Savage. I think it will be Chevy, though. A very, very high chance at that. Number 2, it sounds like, I don't know, Albert Hopewadi's been training in that centre position. So if he's there in the centre position and Kotrick is named on the wing, then there's a good chance that Kotrick actually keeps the wing spot, which is wild. If Albert Hopewadi's on that wing spot, then I think he'll be there longer term, which wouldn't be an option for us, unfortunately. And then the centres, you're going to have Seb Chris in round 2, I think. The other centre is going to be Timoko. The other wing will be Rapiner. Then you got 6. I think that Weeks is going to get it. And I think Strange will probably play centre. He might play centre, or he could play bench or something in round 1, but then be out of the team. So probably best if he just misses, rather than being named as centre for 1 week with Chris coming back. So, and then Fogs in 7. Considerations around scoring for Vegas games, different temps, maybe atmosphere, travel time, etc. might have an effect. I just think the slightly smaller field just means a little bit more defensive upside, and probably playing through the middle a bit more, working. I think they're going to work them hard through the middle, tire all the forwards out, and then spread it wide. And these teams have enough talent too. They're going to break through the line. Things are going to happen. But I do expect big points for like Payne Haas, Cam Murray, these types of guys. Munro replacement. So not ideal at all. Who's going to be the Munro replacement? Because it sounds like Isaac Thompson actually can't travel to Vegas. So it's going to be like a Richie Kenner. Or a Tane Milne, which both I don't like at all. Kenner's in the supplementaries list right now. Milne is in the 30. He'll probably be the guy, but he's 405k. I just don't think we're going to get anything unless it's a rookie. Unfortunately, I don't think Taff is a buy if he gets a fullback role. Go back and listen to earlier in this video, Noah. where I spoke about Taff. I just don't think that moving to a lesser team, no goal kicking, he has any upside. Matty, for those who haven't had much luck in fantasy the last couple of years and wanting to give a different method a try, thoughts on picking teams on vibe or any other crazy strategies you've wanted to try? Well, I think you can do that for sure. Like if you think that a guy has potential crazy upside, like there's a 20 or 30% chance of them going nuts like that, then definitely pick him. If you like watching a player, he has potentially 5 points of value as like a mid-tier or a gun option, then do it, man. But you're obviously going to have to select the normal cash cows and the like, otherwise you'll fall way too far behind because you won't make enough money. Les, I'm thinking Tedesco and Paps with a cheapie, hoping Tedesco will feed off the Roosters go forward. Thoughts, please. With Teddy, the issue is their start. So they've started poorly the last few years. They actually have a ridiculously hard draw. In these first few, they've got like Panthers and Storm, and I think they've got Broncos as well in the first 4 or 5 games. So it's pretty wild. Unfortunately, T-Banger, welcome, you legend. Considering the injuries in the Bunnies backline, do you think White could be a good pick once back? Might get Jewel. He'll get Jewel in round 7, so I think we have to wait until then. We're not going to pick him as a half playing at centre. That's a mistake. We want the other way around, a half playing centre in fantasy playing half. Have you got the candles going, mate? You can see the flame reflection in your Golden State frame. How good. It's just a light on my fan, so there you go. It's not too, with daylight saving, we've still got a fair bit of light, thank goodness. All right. Do you have an Excel spreadsheet you use pre-season, and do you offer or know where any templates are? Mate, if you're in the private group, as I said, you get the buy planner, you get the spreadsheets that Scoop comes up with, you get my whole pre-season document, you get the access and the knowledge from what I learned from NRL Physio in that subscription, and you get all the one-on-one advice from myself and all the legends in that private group. So that's where you want to be, Kiwi Sports Mage. There you go. We'll be seeing Lockie Smith's team reveal too. Potentially, I'll ask him if he wants to actually reveal his, or if we maybe get like a little bit of a reveal earlier, maybe. I'll ask him. I'll see if he does one like a week out or something before team lists, and then things will change. I don't know if he wants everyone to know what his team's going into round 1, but I will ask him, and that will be fun for him to reveal his, and I can help him talk through it or something like that. Surely Taff doesn't get fullback position round 1. I think they should put Tracy at fullback. Who do you think gets the position? I would love Tracy at fullback. They're talking about Taff is going to be getting this fullback position for the first trial. What does that mean, though? Does that mean he's going to be... the first trial is usually the trial that not all the guns play, but it is different. Actually, first trial will be for them because dogs are not going to Vegas, so they have a different trial type of situation for sure. So I think first trial usually means the lesser players, and then second trial is all the guns. So if that's the case, then and he's the only fullback playing, he's the only noted player playing in that first game where it's a lot of rookies and stuff, then I don't think that means anything. I really don't think he should be there, but the talk all preseason is that he should be. So yeah, I'd be giving Crichton a go for sure, or Connor Tracy runs on the board, and I think he's great ball runner. O'Sullivan potentially Fogarty not the same. You saw his stats last year. They had a cracking start to the year. I definitely think he has about 5 points of value. That's about it. I looked at the best players for positions video from a few days ago. Yeah, awesome. Glowbox. I didn't say any of Cohen Hess. I didn't say Bullymore at all. So if you looked at that, then you've got the wrong information. Not from me anyway. How many Raiders is too many? Like if you had Kotrick strained on top of Weeks, Chevy and Fogarty, that would be too many. Or do we do 1 to 17 all Raiders? Do not do that. Where's your guns, man? I want to show off my baseball jersey. I reckon it's hectic. I don't know what you guys think. I think they're pretty cool. So wanted to try that tonight. Come on guys, you literally get the singlets every day. But Matty, I know you absolutely love the guns out. Have been working on them though. Alright, Adam Elliott, good find, JB. Tell us more. Would you be prepared to drop Haas? I think if I drop Haas, it's probably for Murray. What we want to look at, guys, with our starting team is actually really you want to get as much value out of it as possible. So if you're picking your captain in Cleary, you're not getting any value out of him. And then from there, if you can get sort of another 5 or 6 points of value out of another guy, so let's just say Murray has 5 points of value, goes from 57 to 62, then you're getting about 70k from him, which is awesome. It's something you weren't getting from Payne Haas because unfortunately he's not going to go into the 70 range. He might for a couple of weeks. but they also have a tough draw to kick things off, and the offloads and the tackle breaks might not be there as much as it could be for other weeks against some slightly lesser teams, right? So that's what you want to you want to be thinking of with someone like him there for sure. And really the big thing with Haas is the consistency and the high ownership, and doesn't have a buy all the way until Origin. So yeah, I do really want Haas in my side, that's for sure. Kiwi, the fiber group stuff, all of it is in the description. All the information there, so do that. 17th overall in 21, top 500 since. Hope he goes to the next level this year. Hell yeah, good stuff. Why have you gone for Ben Turbo? I just hope that he gets the spot. If he gets named there in round 1, then I'm selecting him. If he's not, then I'm not picking him. It's as simple as that, mates. Noah, and I'll change things, and that's why I've got extra cash in the bank. That's why I've got I've picked Lussick, who's higher price than Hands. I've picked Savage, who's higher price than Chevy. That hopefully it works out. I can go down and I can upgrade that cheapie if it's not there. I can see that reflection of a candle flame as well. Pretty cool special effect, I reckon. Yeah, how good. Love that. I'll take that for sure. I'm watching myself here as I can see all the comments. Thoughts on Lane over Blore? 50k more expensive. I think Blore's going to average the same or more. That's all. Obviously, the buying round 4 is less helpful, but I think Eli Katoa has value on the right side, and he's priced at 650. And so Blore's just as damaging as Katoa. So why wouldn't I pick Blore? This is a simple question. Lockie, he's like 25p, I think. Do you really trust the Raiders cheapies? But no. I really don't see many of them getting 30 plus. You imagine if Winks is playing 6 though, you'll have the odd attacking stat and he'll tackle hard. We saw him play 6 for one game, he got 20 tackles or something like that. So there's that. But you can't, if you don't pick the Raiders cheapies, where are you getting cheapies from? You just won't have a good enough team. Peter, unban me from Discord server, please. Unfortunately, mate, if you did the wrong thing, you did the wrong thing. There's not much I can do there. Romy, but thank you for watching my videos. That's all that matters here. Romy, thoughts on Taumalolo? Mate, I definitely hope for a bounce back as a Cowboys fan, that's for sure. But I am not sure it's going to happen. Let's just hope that he has an extra 5 minutes in his game and that he has the ability to go back to a decent PPM in fantasy-wise. And if he can, I definitely think he's worth a buy, and you should go for it for sure. I wouldn't push anyone against it. How many is too many straight-up Origin players? I think 4 is perfect to start, mate. I think that would be the best way to play it. Aiden, how much kitty will you leave yourself after cementing your starting 21? I never leave myself enough cash in the bank. So I think personally, I'll try and leave 50k. I'm usually someone to leave 20 or 30 max. If I get the right team, I'll go all the way down, but it definitely is helpful to leave 50 to 100, and a lot of good teams do that. So yeah, do that for sure. Cameron Este, nice shirt, cutie. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it, Cammy boy. Houdini, IPAP played really well one season. The thinking was he wouldn't go any better. Following year did even better. So maybe Haas does have value. Definitely. He also had to score a lot of tries to maintain that, as I say, Isaiah Papali'i. The minutes is the worry with Haas. So he averaged 64 in 59 minutes. Can he increase that PPM? I just think that's so hard to increase the PPM at 59. There's no reason he should be playing more than 59 minutes. If they want him long term, you saw Taumalolo play big minutes for too long, and his body is gone. And Haas has had his issues with AC joints and the like. He's coming off a bit of a hamstring strain, a precautionary 1 to 2 week thing, but it's definitely something to think about. With him, it's just the minutes, whereas IPAPS was playing 80 minutes. So you definitely could do it. I have 230k and need wing fullback, but already have Chevy Stewart. So yeah, unfortunately, you just got to find some value elsewhere. Is how you're going to play that one. Unfortunately, get out there and trade somewhere around to fix that up. All right. Do you catch up with Lockie outside of YouTube, or is he more just a client? Also thought on Maverick Gaia. Let me know if the stream's still working. It's got me paused on here, unfortunately. He's from Queensland, so yeah. Why am I frozen? I think I'm back. It came up on low battery, boys. Not good. Not good. Yeah, low battery, so just paused it. Of course it did. Add on do not disturb too. Surely that helps. That's what happens when you're on your phone too much, guys. Get off your phone. Thanks for staying on too and not leaving me. Anyway, let's get back into it. Lockie is from Queensland, so hard to see him, but hopefully I can see him at Magic Round or something. It would be sick. And he actually lives rural Queensland as well. But yeah, cracking man. Yeah, just a friend. We talk all the time. Good man. Do you think Munro is a good buy? It would be if he wasn't out for 8 weeks. Unfortunately, Thunder. That's the new news there. All right. What do we got? Who do you think will be the Hopgood of this season? Ugh, nobody. But I'm all in on Josh Curran. I think he's going to have an absolute cracker. That is for sure. Yeah, 8 weeks. Thoughts on starting with Hines and Cleary combo? Love it if enough cheapies come up and enough value comes up. You probably won't be able to get like a Payne Haas as well. You might be able to get like 2 of them plus Murray. Could definitely work. Hey JB, just jumped on. Where'd that go? Thoughts on Chance now with RTS and the inside of DWZ? I think Chance scored well enough last year and I can't see it improving, but yeah, could do. Hammer, a good price. I think it's a good price, but buying round 3 is tough. Here I am thinking my app is playing up. No, it's just me, mate. Thoughts on Murray's role within the team? Do you see a 50-20 split, middle and edge? I see 80 minutes. He already played 68 or 69 last year. So I don't see any chance of him dropping in minutes. It could be like a 65 and 15, a 60 and 20 could be as well. Like if, let's just say Arrow plays 60 and then Murray plays 20 in there, I think that could be the play. Rather than carrying a bench edge, they can just use Murray in there. And yeah, rather than using a host or something like that, and then they can get Duncan in the middle for 20 at 13 and maybe 10 or so a prop. Talk to me about Dallas Duncan. I rate him. He's an incredible player, Chase, and I think he'll have a cracking year. It'll just be when does he have the cracking efforts? Like, does it happen from round 1 or does it happen from like round 8 after their bye or something like that? I think we need a middle forward injury for him to be really, really relevant and absolutely dominate. But until then, until we hear that he's going to be playing a bigger role of 45 to 50 minutes plus, I just don't think we can pick him. Up rural Queensland, yeah. Bostock, a good buy. I think the buy in round 3, him not being an absolute superstar is an issue. So yeah, that's that. With him, he could grow into it, but maybe look at him for the first few weeks and then do something from there in like a round 4. Is Cleary being in love going to be a distraction? No. Plenty of top-rated athletes, sports stars, form has dipped when they become involved with women. Think Tiger Woods. I don't know. Do you actually think that Cleary has not been seeing anyone for years and he's only just focusing on footy? I don't believe that would be true. It probably would help more if he has an actual girlfriend rather than if he was like sleeping around or focusing on doing that sort of stuff, like going out more and all that sort of stuff. Like if you have a partner, there's more chance of staying in, doing all that kind of stuff. So I think that would be the call with him. Might be happier and he could play better. Like there's either way it could go. I think Tiger Woods, but Tiger Woods is having affairs, so it's very, very different with Tiger. Talis, we spoke about, is that cat or mouse in the picture frame? Is that cat or mouse in the picture frame? Oh, it's a kangaroo. That's what got me over to the US last year with Gary V, with his V friends. So yeah, I just got that framed. I thought it was cool. Perhaps Floor and Grant, too much Storm to start with. I think it could be fine, man. 2 is where I'm likely to be going, but I do like the 3 of them. If you have enough to cover in that week, they could be super duper scorers for that, for a good while. Is Fogarty really worth it, especially considering Flanagan, Wicks as cheaper options? Yeah, but they're guys that are going to score 30 or something, 35, whereas Fogarty's going to be a 50-odd guy, doesn't play Origin, plays major bye rounds. It's huge. Can Turbo last 27 weeks without needing a full body rebuild? Can Josh Schuster last 27 weeks without a full body rebuild? Answer that for me. Thoughts on the center position if we don't get anyone sub 400? Penasini, Raymin combo. Yeah, I think that works for sure. It's a lot of money in there. I wouldn't really like personally doing it. If I'm going to go one more expensive guy, they have to be someone like those 2 and then cheaper from there. Hopefully we get like a Turbo or Eero or something. If you had to pick, who do you think will get up to the most strife in Vegas? Yeah, God. Is it going to be like a Brandon Smith or a Walshy or something? Who knows? What's your take on the Reynolds versus Carrigan dust up? Punches apparently did look great. I saw the footage. I wonder why. Like, they're not two guys that I would have thought, but yeah, the club's working it out now. Let's hope we see a bit more, hear a bit more about it. Thoughts on Bully Year 2 from round 2. I'm super excited to see him play. I will watch him first before I look at picking him up, and hopefully Tigers play better. What's the go with Schuster? Attitude, 2 lots of injuries. There's a lot going on with him. You could start with him, but I'm likely to be watching. Just off the beers, Toby Rudolph have much value. I think 5 points of value for Toby if he can get more minutes, but they are full of middle forwards. Thoughts on Jaden Bradley hooker with Harry Grant? Jaden Bradley a bit too expensive, unfortunately, mates, at this point. What have I missed on Lenu? Sorry, 1 second. Clicking too much. What have I missed on Lenu? Thought everyone was keen on him a few weeks ago. I never have been keen. None of the content creators are. People are, but they're probably just listening to us, I'd say. He played 33 minutes last year. Is he going to get more than that? I don't think so. Hey, Scoop, can you think of anyone who would be a pickup below 535 for the bench? Scoop is not me, but thanks for trying. There's heaps of 535 below. Just check the latest video I did today, the team reveal. I've got all the options there. The value video, mate, is what you want to look at as well. Must have value. It's got almost 6,000 views, so big thanks to all you guys for watching and loading up on the views for my team reveal as well. Is Brendan Hands worth it? Yes, if he gets the spot, 100%. Thoughts on Kohler? Not a centre, but I hope he could do really, really well. My first team reveal was about a month ago. That wasn't actually a team reveal, mate. It's yeah, I was just putting together a team on the fly. Yeah, it came out and I was like, oh, I actually don't mind that team, which is cool. So that's where that was. So yeah, that's just about kind of structure and value and stuff is what I was looking at. But would I change any plays on that side? Yeah, I've changed plenty from today until, from that little muck around. I literally just put together some guys I thought were interesting. Like, I had Sorensen and stuff. I still like them, but yeah. It's just as out man in. Oh, God. Paul Kent or Buzz Rothfield. Come on, Buzz is the best. Come on, we love Buzz. Scoop Banju. I started Pete. If Scoop Banju, then you must have done something wrong. Is dual position done, or will there be updates prior to round 1? Updates after team list Tuesday. So you got a bunch of days, which is cool. Jesse Arthur's in the mix. Yeah, I just don't rate his scoring at all. He's in a great team last year and scored poorly. I think he needs to move to the right for him to be of any value. Last couple guys. Hey, Jamie, I have real aversion to guys with early bias as well as origin guys not named. Haas or Cleary. Thoughts, please, Guru. Oh, don't do that. Did anyone see Rugby League Guru's post this afternoon? Pretty funny. Timmy Williams got called the Supercoach Guru on a written piece on the Telegraph or something like that, and he was called the Supercoach Guru before he changed to Rugby League Guru, and he also has beaten Tim the last 2 years, which is pretty funny. So that was cool. But yeah, thanks for calling me a guru. I agree. The early buys can be hurtful, but once you get through them, you have 17, 18, 19, 20 guys in your team that you could play in that round at the start of the season, whereas in round 8, 9, 10, you might have sort of 2 or 3 cheapies that are out, you might have suspensions, you might have injuries, and that could really hurt you in that week. So having a buy in round 7 could be hurtful compared to having a buy in round 3 or 4. And like, if you started with Isaiah Yeo last year, with his buy in round 3, you did not miss a beat, and you absolutely crushed it. Thoughts on Olam? Justin, I think he's going to do better this year. Only issue is the Tigers, so that's that. He'll be a focal point though. Lindsay Collins is not talked about a lot. He has 2 great years and he's reasonably priced. He's reasonably priced because he's had 2 great years and hasn't scored that well. Alamotti won't start, but I hope that he does at one point. Would you ever consider starting with Trell in any universe? I thought he looked great the other day, and a big pod, or better to go with Murray. Remember, with the Trell and these fullbacks, you do need everything to go right, and you want to start well. So if you get 3 weeks of him not scoring incredibly, then it's not great. If you have 3 weeks of him hitting his price, then yeah, it's good, but it doesn't really hurt anyone else, to be honest with you, unless all our wing fullback guys that we've picked are really stinking it up, basically. So he will be good, but if he had a nicer run, I would look at him more. All right, last couple. If Campbell is good to go for round 1, we start with him. Potentially, I need him to play a trial, but it looks like he's not going to play a trial. So, yeah. How long did you take to make the whole Excel spreadsheet? Looks like a lot of work. It's actually Scoop's spreadsheet, guys. So, again, if you want to check out that. If you want to have it yourself, jump in the private group. I absolutely appreciate it. Hopefully during this stream we've had a couple of people sign up, and we're pretty much halfway full on the private group, guys. I think you'd be mad not to get in there. It's plenty of competitions. There's so many different ways to win, keep you engaged. You've got absolute legends in that group. Obviously I'm in it, a legend in itself, but yeah, that's that. Thank you for watching this one again. You're all legends. Would you go Ponga and Cola or Turbo and Penasini? Ooh. Probably Turbo and Penasini. I think Turbo's, I was saying it's the quickest he's run in a couple of years, which is cool. I wish Terrell May would get more minutes. Absolute weapon. He's firmly on my radar. I'll be grabbing him if he can get 40 minutes. Flanagan could definitely be worth the mate. I'd love to see a trial and see what's happening with him. Top 3 pods. Terrell May would definitely be one. Adam Elliott. Ponga's not a pod, is he? Who else would be a pod? Yeah, let's go with 2. Not much centre options apart from either cheap or expensive. Any mid-range or lower recommendations? Yeah, like Bailey Simonson and stuff like that. Sully, that's about it. Jeremy, legend. Hey, good to see you live again. Can you remind me what type of team to set up for a head-to-head league? What type of team to set up? What do you mean by that? If you're talking about league, then you want sort of 18 to 20 players, whatever, how many players you want. Skip the major buys. What kind of team you want? In round 1, you're looking for value just the same as you're looking for overall. So that's that. Hey, mate, just giving you a heads up. I'm going to win your comp. Gold is mine. I absolutely love that, mate. Good stuff. Gilbert, just go cash cows in the centres. Yeah, if there were cash cows available. Anyway, you guys are absolute legends. I appreciate you guys being here. And I am going to end this video now once I can grab my phone off the stick. So have an absolute cracking night. Almost got the full hour in there. Sorry for the little stuff up at the beginning. And yeah, hope you guys have an absolute beauty of an evening. And yeah, we will expect a couple of big videos over the next few days as well. So yeah, that's it, guys. Have a cracking day.